Hello, my name is Vivian Oliver-Hernandez. I'm your Carl Wunschy Digital Learning Coach Literacy, and in this tip of the week, I am focused on the top 5 reasons why you should create a Google Sheets hub for your classroom, for your students, especially when it comes to probably a big, large project that they're about to take on. So the one reason you should, number one, I'm going to show you an example, is the ability to have it all in one place. The ability to essentially hyperlink your resources and have it go to whatever they need, but keep it all, again, in that one place. The second reason, the ability to customize your headers. So I'm not going to show you in this video how they did this. If you would like that information, here is where I learned how to get this template and also the information of why I fell in love with the thought of Google Sheets. I'm going to link this video resource from Gold EDU in the description, or I can email it to you as well. But as you can see, they did a great job of organizing and creating headers for a hub, and it makes it more visually engaging. It also has the ability to create to-do lists. I will show you how to do this in this video. I'm going to show you how to create that checkbox in a Google Sheet. So when you click the checkbox, it will cross off the line of your to-do list and visually show you that you're done with that. Really great thing to show for your students as well. You also, when you create a template or even just share a resource using a Google Sheet Hub, you're role modeling great organizational project management skills for your students. So maybe they're going to be inspired and they can go ahead and learn on their own, or show them this video so they can start creating their own. And that's just an awesome skill to have as you go into the workforce. And then also when you share your hub, especially a Google Sheet, whether it's a link or an embedded link, it does live update, right? So that ability to make a change and have it live update is always a huge win because you don't have to worry about resharing it over and over, especially if it's somewhere else like a Google site or anything like that, or on the Carl Wunschy website. I know Miss Williams is also a huge fan of Google Sheets, which is why after I saw that other video, I just was like, you know what? This would be amazing if all of us could get into this mode where we're just sharing resources. And I think Google Sheets is one of the best places to start. You can't do it in a Google site as well, but sometimes, like I said, that ability of visually having like a checklist, you can't do in a Google site. So that's the biggest win and why I'm going to show you next in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you would like a copy of this Project Hub template, you'll need to go to File, Make a Copy, Name, choose what folder to put it in, and click Make a Copy. After you do that, a copy will generate on its own for you, and you can begin working and customizing to your own liking. Now, as you can see, here is a daily to-do list section where when the person checks off their list, it checks off the to-do, what's listed right next to it. It's pretty cool. To do this, it's a little bit more advanced, which is why I'm going to show you how to create it in this video. As you can see, please note that column A and column B take up the daily to-do section. So what we need to do is take column C and split it into 2. So what is the best way to do this? I'm going to show you. The first thing you need to do is select column C by clicking on the C of the column. Then right-click over it and select Insert one column to the right. Awesome. After you do that, you can go ahead and select your boxes. As you can see, this is 1 and 2. So I'm going to select these boxes and I'm going to merge them. So up at the top, I'm going to click Merge Cells. And then I can go ahead and to combine this and this, I'm selecting cells C2, C3, cells D2, D3, and I'm going to merge those together as well. I'm clicking on the tool that's like on the top toolbar. It's in the middle. Cool. Now it's merged. To make D a little bit smaller, I can go ahead and select the whole column, click here on the handle, and drag it to make it a little bit of a little box. Now, as you can see down below, these columns are just like the other ones. So if I just want to combine them to make them look visually better, all I'm doing is merging the cells. Okay. All right. Now the next thing you're going to do is go to the cell that you would want the checkbox. So in this case, I'm going to go to D4, then I'm going to go to Insert, and then I'm going to select Checkbox, okay? After I select that, I can go ahead and drag my copy and drag the cursor down, or I can go ahead and hit the copy and paste it in. However you want to do it to get those checkboxes. If you want to change the color, you can change it. All you would need to do is change the formatting of it and change it, or change it at the top. So right now, I think it's like a text color of gray. I can change it to like a red or a pink, whatever fits my fancy. In this case, I'll do red. And again, if I need it to go down, just drag and copy through. Okay, so now I'm going to list my to-do list task, right? So here I'm putting example 1, example 2. Of course, you would actually have real task here of what you need to complete. And then as you can see though, when I click the checkbox, something happens, but I want something to happen. So how do I get that to happen? Well, what you can do is you can create a conditional format. So to do that, what you're going to do is go to Format up at the top. First, you got to be on the cell. So I'm right now in cell D4. Then I'm going to go to Format. Then I'm going to go to Conditional Formatting. So it may open up on the right showing the actual cell like D4, just like this by default, or you may have to click what I clicked, which is the after you do Format, Conditional Formatting, clicking Add Another Rule. So then here you're going to go ahead and change Apply To Range to the cell that you want affected by whatever you're about to do. So in this case, I'm writing a statement saying, if I check the box true, so true, it's checked off, then it will cross off whatever is in the other cell. So to do that, whatever I do needs to be applied to, in this case, C4. I need to change the format rule to a custom formula. And then here is where I'll write my true statement, which is equal D4. Make sure it's capital letters, equals true, okay? And then what happens? So essentially this is saying if D4 equals true, meaning it's checked off, then C4 will what? Right here's where I can decide formatting. I'm going to change it to be a strike through happens, along with you can change the fill color if you want to make it more visible. And then once I am all set, I'll click done, and then I can go ahead and test it out. So now I'll go ahead and hit that checkbox in D4, and there we go. So if you want it to work on the other ones, you can go ahead and do that. Sometimes you'll need to customize it even further. Completely up to you. You just kind of play with it. If I change the text, what happens, that's sometimes a question I get. I check it off, you're good to go. And then if you change the text again, it's still applied because I have it checked off. I can always uncheck it, and there you go. So if you want to create like just the cells of the checklist and then change whatever the weekly to do is, just to make sure you have a section, the actual text, you are more than welcome to do that. I just think it's a really cool trick, especially when you're thinking about what to create for your students and for yourself as we get better with Google Sheets. There is one more thing I want to show you, and it's when it comes to sharing. If I go to File, Share, and I click Publish to Web, this is going to be what I recommend you do the most, because this ensures that no one will be able to edit your information. Now, of course, if you don't want people to make a copy, you go to the share settings, you change all that. You have to change like Spring ISD. You do have to change that still, so that way they have access to just a view. And then if you ever want to turn off their make a copy because you don't want this to be a template, just go to that gear setting in your settings and uncheck the ability for people to make a copy. But once you do that, I recommend, instead of just going here and sharing this link that's generated, publishing it to the web instead. And here's why. You go to File, Share, Publish to a Web. You can either do a link or an embed, depending on where you're going to put it. I'm going to click publish. It's telling me it's going to become publishable. I say yes. Again, both of the codes are generated, and you can choose, if you don't want the whole entire document, you can choose like a specific sheet in that document. If you'd rather it be just like one sheet, because you don't want the whole thing, that's cool too. And then you can also decide if you're going to unpublish it at any point. You can do that. But the reason I recommend this is because now if you look at the sheet, or look at this link instead, the publish to web link, let's see how different it looks. It looks way better, way more amazing, because it's missing that top part of Google Sheets that sometimes can get a little cluttered. If you share the whole document, they will see the tabs down below, still like in the bottom left or wherever. But I recommend always doing your Google Sheets share like this, because the viewer can see what's done. They can see the live updates, but they don't see all that other junk. So yeah, publish to the web is the best. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I can give you the template, or I can go ahead and remind you of how to make that checklist and live role model it with you, so that way you got it in your toolbox as an educator. I hope you have a wonderful, great weekend, day, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.